Greetings, friends. My name is Mykola Volokhov, call sign Abdullah. I'm the commander of the TERRA division. TERRA is currently fighting in the Avdiivka region as a part of the 3rd Assault Brigade. We did not publish videos for a while as we were busy eliminating Russian infantry, Russian armed vehicles, and Russian strongholds. It is a very hard region, hardest one we've been to. I want to thank everyone who supported us, especially for the last month. Friends, we have succeeded thanks to you. We succeeded to unalive a lot of enemies, and for those who want to support us, we have an active fundraiser. We are raising money for kamikaze drones that we need here in large quantities. We are also raising money to repair existing and purchase new trucks, fire adjustment drones, and communication equipment for all of those drones. A link to the fundraiser is in the description of this video. We also have a Patreon and a Telegram channel. Join us at both of them. All our videos are published uncensored on Telegram. So friends, let's begin. I'll give you a quick intro on what is about to happen. Me and you together are going to watch our latest FPV drone strikes, where we unalive the Russians, and I will describe exactly what happens. I'll tell you what equipment and what munitions we use, so it is both more clear and interesting for you. The FPV kamikaze drone pilot was looking for an enemy armored vehicle, but found infantry instead. Approaches to eliminate. We can clearly see 3 enemy infantry. An air detonation is about to be performed, thus striking a larger number of enemies at the same time. And here we have an enemy tank. It blew up on the mine, but it's still not eliminated and the enemy could still tow it back. So a decision was made to finish it off with a kamikaze FPV drone carrying a cumulative charge explosive. Pilot engages, direct hit. By the way, friends, it is a cumulative charge ammunition like this, PG-7L, increased power 1.5 kilograms. A 7-inch FPV drone cannot carry more than this, it's an absolute maximum. A 10-inch could carry more, it has outstanding armor penetration, it can absolutely destroy a T-90 tank, and to be fair, is effective against infantry too, if you do not happen to find a suitable vehicle, as it has pronounced high explosive effect. From preliminary intel, we have uncovered an enemy infantry concentration spot inside a building. This building here, the task for the FPV drone pilot is to make it through the window. And even though the connection is bad, he succeeds. And here with the Mavic 3 we were able to capture the FPV drone hitting the enemy dugout with 3 enemy infantry hiding in it. It caught flames jolly well and the smoke forced them out of it. Here we see one leaving, then the other one, they flee. And here we see an FPV kamikaze drone hitting an enemy hideout. The entrance is especially small, but the pilot made it into the tiny opening. Friends, you may wonder why I have the gloves on. To hit the enemy positions like this one, we use regular high-explosive munitions. This here in my hands is no bar of soap. This is a 3-pound brick of TNT, which, by the way, we've smelted from captured enemy ammunitions. When this thing strapped to an FPV drone flies into a dugout or a building, the effect is magical. It has proved itself to be very effective. It's ammunition like this we've used against enemy buildings and enclosed enemy positions. And in this video, an enemy vehicle is struck. And even though the pilot did not hit it directly, you may notice it in the very end he managed to turn the projectile nose, where the cumulative charge exits, towards the enemy vehicle, and it was struck after all. Later at the post-recon, we've seen the vehicle has burned up completely. Here, friends, you see our post-reconnaissance on already destroyed targets with FPV kamikaze drones. At a distance where Mavic 3 could no longer reach, we would just lose it. The FPV kamikaze drone instead will hit a secondary target afterwards. This Russian strolled a bit too far carrying a generator and will probably not stroll anywhere anymore. Look, he doesn't even attempt to run. He probably already accepted his fate. So I guess it is a one-way business class ticket to hell for you, mate. Another stronghold, a tiny crevice, but the pilot is up to the task and gets right in. And this is a confirmation from Mavic 3 that there indeed was an explosion. The detonator went off. And again, we are hitting an enemy stronghold situated among trees. You can see on the recording the camera lens is all wet. The combat mission was conducted in a snowfall. And this is what happens to our FPV drones when they get into the area of enemy electronic warfare influence. Something is burning at the crossing. Here's a great video. The car was driving and bam, a direct frontal hit with a cumulative shell. All enemy infantry inside were unalived. And now, friends, we will watch a video that we have not shown before, but now we probably should. There is no great secret here anymore. We are dropping bombs at night with large drones. Russians call them Baba Yaga and are properly scared of them. We also dropped specialty anti-tank aviation bombs. The enemy has deployed infantry and the personal carriers just stood there, probably thinking we don't see them in the dark. The first shell is dropped as a tracer, so that the operator can judge the wind direction and could correct the next one. We absolutely need a direct hit so that the vehicle burns up. The second shell, see, it's closer now. Soon the target will be destroyed. It is interesting to observe the battlefield through a thermal camera. Very lunar looking, you know. Covered with craters, a lot of artillery shelling by the enemy, and also some by us. Third, right on the money. The armored vehicle burned down to the ground. And here, friends, you can see the harsh conditions we at times operate under. Enemy electronic warfare is interfering, but the pilot still managed to find an entrance to the dugout and struck it directly. Here is an enemy armored vehicle, and again, under the enemy electronic warfare influence, the picture is poor, but the target was struck. And here, friends, we hit a couple of enemy armored vehicles, but this was not enough for us. We need a detonation and a complete destruction, as the enemy may then evacuate the disabled vehicle, reuse some of its parts to repair another vehicle, or even restore it completely. So we targeted with a cumulative shell, hit right in the center. This armored vehicle is called the Shell. Russian paratroopers use these. Direct hit to the side, it burned down. And here, friends, the Russians installed their flag over a ruined building. We could not stand such audacity and decided to lower it for them, so to speak. On the first approach, the detonation did not occur, so the pilot tries again and approaches the target once more. This time the decision was made to target the base of the flagpole. Flying carefully, aiming, and detonation. And here we have an enemy machine gunner chilling in the afforestation area. He's not aware that these are the last seconds of his life. Direct hit, the enemy is destroyed. According to the preliminary intel, we realized where the enemy's control and observation point was located. And here you will see a fascinating phenomena. When one FPV kamikaze drone used to video confirm a hit by another FPV kamikaze drone. The first drone hits the target. And here you can see, as the FPV kamikaze drone is observing the impact of the first one, the second drone went directly into the window with a 1.5 kilogram thermobaric shell attached to it. Here you can see what we call a van-ocide. It's the time of the year when we destroy loads of enemy vans. 1.5 kilogram of TNT fly directly into the target, where the enemy infantry resides. Direct hit, nobody survives that. And here we see a Russian relaxing in a field. He probably thinks nobody can see him or knows that he is there. And 1.5 kilograms of TNT fly right up his behind. Friends, thank you for watching this with me. I hope you liked it. We cannot yet publish any GoPro videos, we cannot give out our positions. We will share these a bit later. Thank you again to all of you who has supported and continue to support us. Join our Telegram channel. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel, repost this video, it will help us a lot. Together we will surely win and victory will be ours together. Glory to Ukraine!